Hi, this is Business Law and Ethics, Tort Law, Chapter 3, Part 2. There's quite a few learning objectives in this chapter. Here are some: from distinguishing the torts of assault, battery, and trespass to land, to delineate the following torts: inducing breach of contract, all the way to intrusion upon seclusion. Also, we're going to look at detail how privacy is protected here in Canada, identify issues surrounding torts, and the importance of pipe down. So intentional torts, the actual definition: intentional means that the conduct was intended or deliberate, in other words, a willful act, as opposed to inadvertent. So wrongdoer does not need to intend to do harm, right? This is intentional. Trespass to person, right? The role of a tort law is to compensate victims, requiring the party at fault to really have responsibility or bear the burden of the loss suffered. So, and it deters the occurrence of such wrongful behavior and educates society. So, a remedy in the legal system, a legal sense, is the means with which a court of law enforces a right or imposes a penalty. So here, trespass to person, assault and battery. Assault is conduct that makes a person think that they are about to be struck. And battery, when someone intentionally makes unwanted conduct with another person, includes threats. Intent to harm here is not required. Threats is battery. So defenses to assault and battery: consent is a defense, must be informed and voluntary. Physical touching beyond that consented to is battery. Consent can be outlined and limited, in other words, needs medical treatment, right? And self-defense, necessary force, must be reasonable, not unrestrained violence. So if you want to defend yourself and you have a gun, and let's say you get your hands on a gun and you shoot him once, but if you shoot him 20 times, right, this is unrestrained violence. To defend self or reject trespassers is permissible also. Now, trespass to land: being on another's land without lawful right or the owner's permission. Ignorance is not a defense, right? This just happened to me recently. I have a parking lot, and someone parked their car and he said, I have the right to park here. That is ignorance. Call the police, and they tow the car. So permission implied for people acting in professional capacity for business offering public services. So continuing trespass: permanent incursion onto the property of another. So trespass to land is entering onto another property without permission. This action can also take place by someone throwing something on another person's land, or may take the form of a continuing trespass. So a continuing trespass is an ongoing or repeated trespass. An example is building a shed which extends into the neighbor's property. So the occupier owes no duty of care to trespassers. Trespass to chattel and conversion and détenu. That definition of this is wrongful interference with goods. Trespass to chattel is where the plaintiff has possession that is interfered with physicality by the defendant. Conversion involves one person intentionally appropriating the goods of another person for their own purposes. Includes theft, and one certainly could be sued for conversion if buying goods from someone other than the owner. So any direct intentional interference causing damage to the goods of another is a trespass to chattel. Generally, the remedy for trespass to chattel is compensatory damages. So conversion consists of interference with the plaintiff, chattel, in such a way as to deprive the owner of the use of the chattels, for example, stealing one. So in such circumstances, the person converting the goods is forced to purchase them.